What's up, traders? Two trades today, PAAS and KL. Let's get to it. All right, so I definitely forgot to hit record. As you can see, I did it like right as I got the order in there. We took 1345. We're just looking at the 200 on the daily here. All right, so we struggled to get over that 50 mark, so we set our stop there. We're actually going to look to add as we get close to 50 so that we can just kind of risk off the same spot, but get some additional shares. We're looking for a bigger gain, but we're only risking a couple cents by getting an add nice and close to that 50 mark. Here we go, 48.49. It looks like she failed there. We're going to add there, so we got 47. We're going to go ahead and change our stop. We actually added 200 shares. So now our stop is for 300 shares at that same 51 spot. All right, it's coming down to test that area again. Kind of looks like she doesn't really want to get under 40 and hold. I'll probably look to just take 100 shares right here. Got them at, geez, that jumped up. Got them at 42. When I hit it, I thought it was still at 40. Kind of jumped on us. All right, so we still got 200. We're going to look for this to continue down through that 36 area that's been holding. All right, so we're going to look to do the same exact thing. We're going to look to add 300 shares here. So now we have 500. And we're going to risk right off of that 51 again. So we got those at 48. So we're only risking those added 300 shares. We're risking 3 cents. Just looking for this to kind of top out at that 50 area again. And we never actually got to 50 on the last one, so it kind of benefits us a little bit because she never really tested the shares that were probably sitting at 50. All right, so we just got stopped out of those shares on PAAS. Going to kind of watch what she does here because we're just chilling right here at the 200. Kind of expecting if she got over 50 to probably run up to that 1360 area. So we're just going to kind of keep an eye on it. We're going to jump back in 500 shares here. It was a little bit of a fake out over 50. Usually when that happens, it'll kind of come back down pretty well. We're going to put that same stop in at 51 because if she gets back up over 50 again, the odds are she's going to continue. But when she rejected 50 there, to me, the odds are in our favor that she's going to come down, maybe even get under 40. That's kind of why we took that larger position size, especially since we're only risking 4 cents here. All right, she's up at 50 again. There's really not any resistance there, and yet we got stopped out. All right, and there she goes. So we're going to probably watch this thing if she gets a little bit extended here towards 1360, but that's unfortunate. We're going to jump back in again, 200 shares. We're kind of seeing if this thing wants to go up to 1360 or not, and that's going to be our risk off. We're going to just take one last chance at this. To see her struggle like that 2 times before down there under 1340, this just kind of feels a little bit overextended for the way that she's been trading. So we kind of actually want this to push up towards 1360. We'll get a little bit of an add in and then look for this thing to get down under VWAP. So we got our add in there, 1354. And since we're risking off 1360, it's okay to add that close because we have our risk off in mind already. We have that number. So that is the plan. This isn't like a normal, para into a short where we're trying to catch the front side. This is just we're risking off that 1360, and it's strictly off the 200 on the daily. Which is right here at 1356. So we'd be looking for maybe like a little bit of a fake out through 1356 towards that 1360 area. And then hopefully it comes back down. And if not, then we'll get out for a loss and we'll just be done with this thing. See if we can get up to 60 on the ask. We'll go ahead and take that last add here and then we'll put our risk off right over 60. There we go. All right, we're going to take the 400 shares there. So now we're at a total of 800. And we're not going to put a hard stop in just because I don't want to see this thing just jump up for a second. But we're going to see what it does here if she decides to get over 60. We're going to go 45. We're just going to take it here. All right, so $46 all said and done after the 2 losers. So can't complain about that. So we're watching KL here right off the scanner. This is actually the minus I3 scan, showing us moves the other way. We're going to take a stab here. She seems to be holding 43 pretty well. We'll just start with 100 shares here, see if she wants to kind of pop up back towards VWAP a little bit. Maybe even under it around 43.50 would be nice. So we're going to look for this ad underneath 43, just trying to be patient, try to find the bottom here. All right, there's some green coming through. Got 42.91, puts our average right under 43. So we're looking for this to get back over 43 and start making that run back up towards VWAP a little bit. All right, so my kid must have hit something. He was up on my lap, and I think he hit stop recording. So I hit start again real quick. And I did the same thing I did in my PAAS trade. Sorry, my mind's all over the place here. I added right at where my stop was, which is where the support had kind of formed, and then risked right underneath that. And so I added 200 shares, had a total of 400. So it popped back up right towards 43. Our average was at 42.86, and we just took off the 200 shares there. And we're going to take another 100 here. Just looking for this thing to keep going if we can. But now we're just left with 100, so it's a green trade, and we're just kind of seeing how much we can get out of it. Obviously, we'd like to get up towards VWAP, but this thing kind of keeps getting shoved down for the most part here around this 43.10 area. So just looking to get out here at 43.20. Just kind of finish the trade off. She's been struggling to get up here, so and there we go. We actually got 21. Awesome, $57 there. Puts us up 103 on the day. All right, traders, so as you can see, that was my trades on PAAS and KL. We're just going to start over here at KL. We'll zoom in here real quick. We just had a nice intense move down away from VWAP. We got this right off the scanner. We were just kind of looking to hit our quota, really. We weren't really looking for as big of a trade as we ended up with, but we took our first entry here at 43.08 because it kind of felt like she tapped 43 a couple times and she was holding, so we jumped in. That's why we got 43.08, because we thought we were going to be on the rise back up. However, she failed there, hit a low of 42.82. She hit 42.88 here, it was 42.89 here. And so when she came down here, she came all the way down to 84, and we had a stop in right under here at 81. So when she came back down, we did the same thing we did on PAAS, and we actually added to our position as close as we could to our stop. And we were pretty close. 84 was the low there. We got 86. So we kind of missed it by 1 penny there as far as our ad goes. And then sure enough, she took off. And obviously we changed our stop to 400 shares right there at 81. And this was the rest of this. And I will be right back. All right, so over to PAAS. We'll go over this one really quickly. This one was a little bit more of a fight. We got in for the hangover type play, as well as we were looking for this thing to bounce off the 200. She decided to get there, but she came down and she started using this as support right here at this 1337 area. She came up and she tried it again. So we actually told ourselves we were going to risk off 50 here because we knew obviously the $0.50 is a pretty good resistance. So we actually added to our position, looking for it to risk off of. We were only risking an extra 4 cents there on 200 shares. We took 100 of them off at 42 when she had failed to get through that support again, and we ended up getting stopped out of the extra. It's really hard. Let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. Or no, okay, yeah, that was right. Yeah, we actually added 300 back up towards that 50 area again, and then we got stopped out for the full 500 because we added 300, risking 3 more cents, and she decided instead of to come back down and try to test that again, she just decided to keep climbing. She actually came back down through 50. It was a little bit of a fake out, so we jumped back in at the 47, and we were just looking for the same thing, for her to come down here and test, and we took the larger share size because we were only risking the 4 cents there, looking for much more than that. At least 10 cents. So we didn't get that. And obviously we were looking to maybe take half if it did get down here and look for it to continue down. We ended up getting stopped out at 51 again. So, which was this one right here. so she goes through. We ended up taking like 200 shares at 52, 200 shares at 54, and then we added 400 shares at 59. We were risking right off of 60, and she actually got up to 62. And we were just trying to be patient because we told ourselves we just want to see what it does as she goes through 60. Obviously, it was a fake out. And then right here, we were risking off of 63. So our stop, we were just letting it make its high. And once she started coming down, that was what we were risking off of. So 63 was our stop. And she come down and she started slowly working down. And she started the test VWAP, and she went through VWAP, and at this point, it was just kind of like going up and down, like within, and it was just, I was just ready to be out of this trade, so we ended up just taking it off, and obviously, if we would have just took half or even 75% or something, we would have got a pretty decent little move as she finally broke through that support over here at 36, 37 area, and she actually got all the way down to 13.17, so unfortunate, but still a decent trade, and it ended up giving us $46 on this one and $57 on this one. And if real quick we want to add up the commissions with the new lamppost route that we're messing with, I wonder if it tells me the total shares somewhere. At 17 or 17 fills. Doesn't have the total shares though. All right, so we'll just add them up. I thought it did earlier. Oh well. So let's just do this in our head. 300, 400, 700, 1200, 1700, 2200, 24, 26, 30, 38, 39, 40, 44, 45, 46. So 4,600 shares times 0.004. So $18.40 in commissions. And now some of these, like all the $100 or 100 share orders, they would actually all be 0.5 and not actually calculate the way it did. So even if you want to add a little bit to that, we'd just say $20 in commissions. So we'd still end up with around a little over $80 on the day. So pretty happy with that because our quota right now is just $50 a day. So in 2 trades, especially with a fight like this, to come out on top, can't be too upset with it. And our risk management on them were just phenomenal. Like I felt really comfortable in the trades. Wasn't worried about them being red trades if they were, just because, I had a plan the whole time and it was just great. It felt good. Just getting really excited to keep these in motion. TOS still sucks for borrowing shares. Kind of forced myself into these 2 plays because I couldn't get the easier plays from this morning right off the scanner, but neither here nor there. Just happy to get some practice in on this account. We're doing really well. If we scroll down, where's the overall one? Yeah, we're up over $1,000 on the month. I mean, if I can make $1,000 a month, guys, I would be so happy. So that's the goal, obviously, but I'm gonna leave it at that. And just been a really tough day for me. It's 3:37 in the afternoon, and the kids are driving me crazy, and my brain is all over the place right now. So like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Always appreciate the support. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Peace.